Gracefully and Frankly is made possible by our good friends at Sierra Sil. After standing on stage for about 8 hours on Monday, in heels, Lisa as my witness, I can sing the praises of Sierra Sil's effectiveness in preventing knee pain and helping if you have inflammation in knees, elbows, shoulders. This all-natural supplement even comes with a money-back guarantee.
Find out more and start today. Go to sierrasil.com. Sierra like the mountains and Sil as in silicon, and use the code GF for 10% off.
Welcome to episode 97, and basically, Lisa, I guess we could describe it as an appetizer for the show tomorrow, November 1st.
Right. I was thinking of an amuse-bouche, and you were like, no, let's do a full appetizer. So, yeah.
Oh, well, our bouches are already amused, so hopefully your oreille will be as well. I think that's ears in French. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah. You play a good francophone, though, on stage. It was a lot of fun being with you in Toronto and just watching you work and being in the room and working the room, and it was good fun.
Well, Lisa was working the room at the speakers table on Monday, and we're going to talk about her not quite fangirling, but wanting to. I know that I did. We're also going to look at nightmares because, I mean, it's Halloween, right? Your recurring nightmare. And guess what? In a way, it happened to me this week.
Right. Hey, what do you think about kids who are older than the average trick-or-treater coming to the door? This has become a real thing this year. People are talking about it. I remember when I was a kid, it was if you've got a teenager at the door, they're, just trying to get candy from you. But times have changed.
They have, and we'll talk about that. So is this the night you like to curl up with a scary movie? We'll talk about a conversation we overheard on the train about scary movies and your thoughts on them.
Yeah, we couldn't help but overhear.
Oh, my God. They were about 3 or 4 rows ahead.
And talking like they were trying to address the whole train. But anyway, and of course, we have a listener feedback email this week, and we're looking forward to sharing that with you as well. Boy, we love getting those emails.
We sure do. And I love that we had envy pillows on the train. So I didn't realize train seats were so hard. I guess I haven't been on one in a while, but after a day on my feet, that envy pillow on my back in the Via train seat all the way to London on the milk run, a story we've got to tell you about tomorrow night live because it's just too much fun to waste facial expressions. But it was so good to have the envy pillow with us, and it does travel so well.
And a highlight, of course, was meeting Kathy and Kim from Envy Pillow at the event, the Excellence Awards, and getting to see them face-to-face for the first time. It was just wonderful. They're just as delightful as you'd imagine from their social media, and listening to the story of how it all came together and carving up foam and changing from memory foam to more sustainable and eco-friendly materials and just everything you'd want.
Yeah, we could tell you their story, but you can go to Envy Pillow, ENVY pillow.com to find out more about Kathy and Kim, 2 RNs who came up with this for a better pillow, a better planet, and a better us.
Use your code GF for 10% off.
Do I sound different? I feel different. I'm in your husband Derek's studio here at beautiful Chez Lisa and Derek in Port Stanley.
It's kind of neat to just have you around the corner and down the hall. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this. We should do this every week. I don't know what Rob would say.
I wish we could. See, I can thump on the wall and you can hear me on the other side.
That's
right. That's kind of weird. Keep it down in there. We're trying to do a podcast.
Yeah, as Derek likes to say, don't play your tuba for a while. I'm working.
Oh, yeah. Hey, by the way, this is very exciting. I mean, I know you do commercials for all kinds of things, and you just did one on Spotify for a big product. What was it again?
Ray-Ban Meta glasses, yeah.
Oh, well, listen, if you're watching a hockey game or anything with a Canadian Tire spot in it, and you see a Canadian Tire ad and they're playing Chicago's If You Leave Me Now.
Right.
If you hear Chicago in the commercial, guess what? The man who talks during your favorite song, which is, of course, how we made everybody angry when we were in radio, is your husband.
That's right. Yeah, so much of the stuff that we do in voice work is never heard. So we get pretty excited when there's a commercial or something that people can hear. So yes, he's got this Canadian Tire thing, and it is running during hockey, and it's exciting for us. Yeah.
It's exciting for me too, because I'm living vicariously through all of your voice work. I'm just always so happy and proud for whatever you get.
Well, we work on it.
You hustle.
We do hustle. Hustle's the name of the game. There's a lot of competition. The competition is the world, so we keep working on it. And, somebody's got to pick up the slack when you forget your wallet when you're going to Toronto. Actually, that's not true. You were still able to pay for everything, but I was so surprised that you left home without it.
Well, and I realized it about an hour into my flight last weekend.
How does it happen? How did that happen?
Well, I don't carry my purse around. I have this little wallet that clips inside my purse, but because I only use ever my driver's license or my Visa card, never my debit really. And most of the time, Lisa, I don't even take a wallet because I'm just using the Visa tap on my phone, okay?
Right.
So I happen to have a pile of small bills that Rob had gotten from the hockey fund for coffee. He didn't steal it. He pays for it. Yeah. He's hitting up poppy boxes next. No, he's not. Just remember to make your poppy donations. So Rob had this pile of cash, so I just put all these fives into my purse. And somehow in my brain, I guess I thought, I've got money. Don't think about your wallet. So I'm on the flight and I go, I wonder if that little wallet that's sitting under a pile of things on my dresser in the closet made it on the trip. I went through my purse. It wasn't there. But you know what? In olden days, we would have panicked.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because everything, your life is in that wallet. But now, I've got my Visa. As I mentioned, I had my passport on me in my leggings side pocket. So the only real hiccup that I had without my wallet was when I went to check into the hotel where we stayed, you and I, and where we were doing the event on Monday. And they need a credit card. Now, the room had already been paid for by Excellence Canada. And so that was fine. But they always want a credit card in case of, quote unquote, incidentals.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
I'm never quite sure what that's going to be. What do you think it is?
X-rated movies, room service, mini bar, hookers. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I think there were a few of those in the lobby of the hotel. It was a nice hotel, but then I realized, no. They're just dressed in those little costumes with the dollars sticking out of the bras because, it was coming up to Halloween.
Right.
Of course, right. So anyway, what happened was the man named Smith, that was his name, who was checking me in, was so gracious. And I don't think I was coming across as panicked enough. It almost seemed like I had planned this, but I said, okay, you're not going to believe this, but I do not have my wallet. I have my passport. I have cash. And I started pulling all these bills out of my purse, like some crazy lady at the dollar store. So he had to call over a manager. And I said, I can e-transfer you the money you want. I can do whatever you want. What can I do to help you to make this easier? And so the manager said, you just can't order room service. And if you know me, you know I would never, ever order room service.
It's crazy. Marked up.
Yeah. And usually I travel with my own coffee. So it was no problem. But that, in 2024, was my only hiccup traveling across the country without my wallet. And it turns out that's one of your nightmares.
It is. I've been having a recurring nightmare about leaving my purse somewhere. And the more I think about it, when I first told you about it, it was that my purse gets stolen every time, but sometimes I actually find it. It's just that I leave it somewhere or I turn and I had it on the back of my chair and it's gone. And sometimes I find it, but sometimes I don't. And I wake up and I'm just terrorized by the thought of losing everything in my purse, including makeup I finally like and all sorts of things. Yeah.
Well, the amateur dream analyst in me, and I hope that Patty Allen, who is a real dream analyst, is listening. And a few other people we've discussed this with all came up with what it turns out is the wrong conclusion, and that would indicate financial insecurity. And you don't suffer from that.
No, I don't. I mean, there's been a real shift in my industry, and I'm pivoting a little bit. It's not as busy as it used to be, but no, I don't think so. But who knows? I mean, what the subconscious is doing when you're not paying attention. I don't know. Maybe it is.
So has that dream/nightmare made you treat your purse differently? Is it a warning, a premonition by chance?
I don't think I do. I'm always pretty careful about where my purse is and who's watching it or if I've got it on me, and I don't take chances. In fact, I am so concerned about my possessions sometimes that when we went into the convention area for your MC work, I had my envy pillow still on my arm.
That was hilarious. She walks into the ballroom with a pillow on her shoulder. I thought, girl, the speeches are going to be better than that.
How embarrassing. Oh, well, I'm really, really fond of the brand. What can I say?
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of dreams, we heard about some dreams and nightmares on the train and tied in with Halloween.
Yeah. Just a couple of people who randomly started up a conversation. I learned that he's 40 and doesn't see his daughter very often. And, because they were about like 3 rows ahead of us and we weren't listening in, we were both either chatting or reading from our devices. And they got talking about scary movies. Now, this is something I am so totally not into. I like something that is mildly suspenseful, some Stephen King that doesn't lean into the gore but is clever, but I can't take gore. What about you?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of gore. I used to love scary movies when I was younger. I remember one called Funhouse that hardly anyone remembers. It came out in 82 or something. Mm-hmm. It scared the heck out of me, but I still called it one of the best nights in the theater. Not so much anymore. Maybe because, I don't know, getting older, you realize that getting mutilated by a guy in a mask could be a fear. I don't know. It's not my thing either.
I don't know, but this couple, they weren't a couple. They seem to agree that Freddy Krueger, which I guess is Nightmare on Elm Street, that he was the scariest because he came to you in your dreams.
Right.
Yeah, or killed you in your dreams or something. Or in Lisa's case, stole her wallet. One thing that didn't happen when you were in that ballroom on Monday at the Delta Convention Center, you didn't have your pillow with you when you met one of your idols.
Yeah.
I was so happy for you.
I really admire Arlene Dickinson. I haven't always agreed with her on Dragon's Den and different things, but I really think she's smart. She's a mom and an immigrant, and she's made such a massive success of herself.
Wait a sec. Where did she emigrate from?
South Africa.
Oh, she has not a hint of an accent.
No. And I just think she's incredible. She's got that immigrant mentality, sort of. Mm-hmm. Such a reverence for what she's been able to do here in Canada. She's so pro-entrepreneur still, even though she's worth many, many millions of dollars. She isn't a mom and pop shop and hasn't been for a long time. Anyway, long story short, anybody who knows who she is knows what she's about. And when I found out that they had seated me at the speaker's table, it's like, yes, I get to meet Arlene Dickinson and these other wonderful people that were there.
Yeah.
And I got the quickest selfie in the world with her, and she was so nice. I said, would it be awful of me to ask you for a selfie right now? And she's like, no, of course not. She was just really down to earth, nice, and tiny. All these people who look good on TV are tiny.
That explains my career at 5'10". Hello.
No. You're tiny too. You're tall but tiny.
I got a big head.
Well, that's what they say. Isn't that the funny thing?
Yeah.
They say people who look the best on TV have big heads.
Yeah, somehow we want a bobblehead, and quite often that's what we get. But Arlene, tell the part about when you asked for the selfie. It was with one small provision.
Oh, she wanted to see it before I posted it.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? It's your image.
Absolutely, it makes sense. I took one and we both had our mouths open and her hand was sort of in front of her face. And of course, she wants to make sure she doesn't look like an idiot. And I just showed it to her quickly. She didn't scrutinize it. It was like, okay, that's my face. It's all good. So, yeah.
When she got off the stage and it was my turn to go back and introduce the next panel, I said to her, I just love you. Can I give you a hug? And I did. And all I could think of was, don't get makeup on that gorgeous white coat and her pants. Did you see what pants she had on?
I didn't notice until you told me. I noticed that she had a Louis Vuitton bag, but I didn't notice.
Yeah, she had on Louis Vuitton pants and they were flared and they had the Louis Vuitton motif all over them and a matching scarf with a white blouse. And I just thought, oh my God, what did those pants cost? So you and I Googled.
They better feel like butter when they're on because, I don't know, do you want to wear butter? But they better feel awfully good for that kind of price. But I mean, she looks smashing and she can afford it and whatever, you know, she deserves to feel good. So yeah, she was definitely a highlight of the event.
Yeah, well, the pants, because we have to satisfy your curiosity, $2,000-ish.
That's it, huh? For a pair of pants. Oh, yeah.
Boy, if you need motivation to not gain weight, I think a $2,000 pair of pants would do it.
Plus, I'd be wearing them everywhere.
Well, yeah.
Want to get your money's worth. Here I am in the grocery store. Oh, yes, I'm wearing my $2,000 pants.
Yeah, this is Lisa and me at Giant Tiger and in my Louis Vuitton pants. See, the thing with designers like that, I would never, because A, it doesn't matter that much to me, and B, I don't think people would think it was real. I mean, you have to travel in just the right circles for somebody to know if what you're wearing is a real this or a real that. It doesn't matter to me, and I know it doesn't to you either.
No, it truly doesn't matter to me at all.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I like the idea, though, of $2,000 pants and a $9 T-shirt from Giant Tiger. It reminds me of Sharon Stone going to the Oscars in a Gap turtleneck. Remember that?
Yeah, I do. I do remember.
Totally just normal and average and nice, so.
Exactly. And okay, so we did the Google thing, and you really can't trust anything on the internet. And we looked up, what is Arlene Dickinson worth? And if this is true, good on her. It said $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, doesn't say Canadian or American. But just to prove you can't believe everything that you read on the internets or the webs. We were having fun the other day sitting on the couch here, just relaxing, recovering from, Monday and all the travel. And you looked up, how did you come to look up our friendship? What was that about?
I was on the Gracefully and Frankly Facebook page and looking at comments and liking them or commenting or back or whatever, responding to them. And someone had sent us a message, so I went into messages, and it was a response to me saying that I was on the train to go see you in Toronto. And a little thing came up in Facebook Messenger, and it's their AI, it's Meta AI, artificial intelligence, and it says, do you want to know more about Lisa and Aaron's friendship? And I thought, how strange it was an out-of-body experience to have someone ask me about me in that way.
And me too, because we were sitting right there together.
Right. So I thought, sure, why not?
Sure.
So I clicked it, and here's what it said.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I think so.
It seems like Lisa and Aaron have a close relationship, considering they're meeting up in Toronto. Ooh. The casual tone of Lisa's post suggests they're comfortable with each other. Perhaps they've been friends for a while or share similar interests.
Yep.
Lisa's enthusiasm about sharing updates during their Facebook Live on Friday implies they might be collaborating on a project or enjoy sharing experiences together. Would you like more information about their Facebook Live or their trip to Toronto?
Oh, I would.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Too funny. It's just so generic.
Yes.
They seem like they might be collaborating. Gosh darn, aren't they good friends?
Oh, my goodness. Well, you know what? None of that was a lie. It wasn't vague.
Vague, but true. Yeah. So give them props. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is the perfect way to just remind you that tomorrow, November 1st, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be together again and doing a Facebook Live. Of course, it's free to you to watch. You just go to our Gracefully and Frankly Facebook page, sign in, and we will hope without Rob, but hopefully with Derek.
We don't need him. It's good. Really, it'll be fine. He'll want to help.
I hope so.
Don't worry.
He is the most wonderful guy coming to get us at the train at stupid o'clock. Yeah, we've got train stories to tell you tomorrow night. All kinds of things to talk about tomorrow because, when we get together, it's not all about us. It's about you, too. So it's going to be big fun.
Are we going to hand out candy tonight?
Well, that's up to you. It's your house. Are you going to be awake?
Oh, I've done it every year. It's just been kind of disappointing. Mostly little kids, not a lot of them. There aren't a lot of children in this neighborhood. There are a few, and there are a couple I see every year, and it's nice to see them. But there's been a lot of talk about teenagers going out and trick-or-treating. And I remember there was a time when it was kind of, oh, darn teenagers, they should give it up. And I wonder if we're softening on that now.
It kind of seems like it. I hearken back to when I was in grade 8 or so, when I was 12, I went through a massive growth spurt. So I was probably worried about being seen as one of those kids, being too tall, too old, go home, leave the trick-or-treating to other kids. But now, when people ask about whether they're handing out to older kids, I'm finding the overwhelming feeling is, look, if they're still in touch with who they are as children, give it out. Life is too short. Childhood is way too short. Let them have their fun. What do you care?
Right. And those teenagers may have missed out during COVID.
Right.
They may have missed their last so-called childhood years during COVID, right? They weren't able to maybe go out and do so many things, let alone Halloween.
Right. Yeah.
Let them have a kid moment. My candy is your candy. And if you want to come to the door and be nice, and I did have some pretty tall kids last year with deep voices, and I don't care.
Sure.
Come and have a free chocolate bar. It's all good. They're fun size anyway.
Ah, there you go. And you want them out of the house, right? Because they lead you into temptation. They lead me into temptation.
Totally. And I'm always concerned about having them around. I mean, Derek went and bought all this stuff. I didn't have any. I was going to get some at the last minute, but he bought it, and I'm trying not to poke around too much and see what he got.
But the wonderful man that he is, he fessed up on Monday as he picked us up at the train that he had been testing that candy to make sure that it was tasty and safe for children. Give this man. He's just...
That's right.
Oh, Lisa, where did you find him?
Candy store.
Yeah, probably. Well, sometimes we find things, too, and we want to share them. Not our husbands. We're not that magnanimous. But sometimes we'll tell you about a show that we loved or whatever, and that kind of takes us to what this week's listener email is about.
Yeah, Nancy in BC wanted to thank us because she and her husband just finished Will and Harper on Netflix, and we talked about that last week. What a beautiful documentary it is. Will Ferrell showing a completely different side from his goofy self, going on a road trip with his friend, who now goes by the name of Harper, now that she has transitioned to a woman. And Nancy wrote, so moving, so helpful in better understanding of being trans.
Right.
Lots of teary moments. Boy, life is a big, long lesson. And we thank you for that, Nancy. I mean, that's the beautiful thing. It's knowing and understanding that matters and makes a lot of difference in accepting people and being kind.
Yeah. You just think that if even half of those people at Madison Square Garden on Sunday night knew someone trans, knew someone Latino or African American or someone who is different than the person they see in the mirror or across the kitchen table every day, that maybe they wouldn't have been there, you know?
Yeah.
It's so true. Oh, by the way, I saw a guy on my flight as I was coming to Ontario the other day, and he was a row up and over from me, so I'm kind of kitty-corner to him on the aisle, and he was watching Will and Harper on his iPad, and I just wanted to reach up and tap his shoulder and say, isn't this amazing? But then I thought, that's kind of stalkerish. Oh, but speaking of things that you shouldn't do on the plane, I was watching a Netflix series, and there were some scenes that were really sexually graphic. So I just reached over to my iPad and put it down in my lap because I thought, what if, the person who can see what I'm watching a row back is offended by what they see? Now, are you responsible for what someone in the row behind you sees on a flight? It's a kind of a whole different set of concerns. It's bad enough people listening to things without headphones, but what do you think?
I don't think so. I think if they're a looky-loo and looking over your shoulder, it's their problem. They can look away.
Yeah. Well, I guess I don't want them to think that I'm watching some XXX thing on my iPad on the flight. Hey, guess what I saw? Aaron Davis was looking at some porn.
So if you see Aaron Davis watching something XXX on a plane, or you just want to share your thoughts about something, be sure to email us at gracefullyfrankly@gmail.com. We love your emails. We love to share them, and we love your feedback and whatever Erin's been watching that she won't admit out loud.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, going to end on a laugh from the comic Lewis Black, who is the angry old guy who is from The Daily Show. He had this amazing clip that kind of ties in with us being together tomorrow for our Gracefully and Frankly Live on Facebook, where you'll get to know even more about us. Lewis?
What the is left for you to learn about them? How they load a dishwasher?
Well, you know how we load our dishwashers. No, of course, he's talking about undecided voters, and we're all on pins and needles about what's going to happen in the States on Tuesday. So join us tomorrow night for a really good diversion Friday, November 1st, and we'll talk to you at 7 o'clock. How's that sound? Facebook gods and tech gods willing.
Yes, it will happen. You will be there. All you need to do is go to the Gracefully and Frankly Facebook page. You'll see that we are live or about to go live, and click on that, and you're in. You're not on, though, so you don't have to worry. Come with rollers in your hair and your pajamas or whatever, however you're comfortable.
You be comfortable, because we'll be comfortable, and we so look forward to seeing you. Well, I mean, you seeing us, joining us tomorrow night. Oh, by the way, is your bouche amused?
Very amused, thank you. I think this was truly an appetizer.
Talk to you Friday.